But I think maybe Graham's waiting in the wings, so I would like to see. Ah, there we go. Graham, if you'd like to come and join me, that'd be great. We can talk about the baboons this morning. It's great to have you with us again. Thank you so much.
Problem.
So no, it was quite magic for me, especially as well as the viewers, to actually see you do your thing and be mixed in with the baboons, because that's probably the first time I've actually seen you surrounded by them, which really was quite incredible to see. Who was it who came? Because you had a couple of males, I think. Who were they at the
Yeah, I
beginning?
saw Tankman. I think Gordy was actually the first to come over, which was nice.
Okay.
And I think then Tankman joined, and then some of the kids. But not everybody was there. But it was good for them to come over. But
And the female, was it Shirley Hurley?
that was my darling.
Oh,
yes.
awesome.
It
Because I was
Shirley.
saying, I was quite pleased. I'm saying, oh, I'm hoping this is Shirley Hurley, because then she would have forgiven you for driving out with me the other day. And
Well, we did talk about you.
Did you? I don't want to know what you said.
No, I won't tell you. Between me and her.
But now, the close, I mean, from where we were sitting, it looked like you were getting, or they were getting half a meter to a meter from you. Is that how close they've been getting?
No, I
to
mean,
you?
this morning was pretty special because when Barry came in, I mean, he was literally where you were.
Yeah.
I was actually quite amazed. And then I did move my hand out, but he was a bit unnerved by that, and he did back away at once, where he looked like he wanted to back away, and then so I just kind of, okay, I can't push the boundaries, it's all up to him.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, so no, that was actually great. And then with Jigger, he also came in really, really closely, and it was, I mean, I was pretty blown away by that this morning. It was really good.
It was. I mean, as I say, at one stage you had baboons just completely surrounding you. It really was.
Yeah,
I was really amazed. I think some viewers got some screenshots as well. And
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
'Cause I didn't know who the hell was sitting behind me. I mean, they were all walking around, but it was just brilliant.
Now, one thing, so I was saying to the viewers, my thoughts behind, because there was one particular male baboon chasing a youngster, and I thought it was Jigger at that stage because of the story that you told about him and his mother sort of going missing, and the fact that he doesn't have anybody backing his corner now. But who was it that was being chased?
It wasn't actually Jigger who got chased, but it was Tupac and I think it was Huey who Tupac went after.
Okay.
But there's been friction between Tupac because he's been making a lot of trouble, and I've missed a lot of the politics because when I went to Cape Town, Halftail disappeared probably about 3 days before I went, and then I was away for kind of 7 days, and then I came back and I had safari, so it was about 12 days that I didn't actually see them. So, and when I did see them again, then Mrs. Spock was missing, and I think Mrs. Spock and Tupac were quite close, and I think his behavior might have something to do with it. But I mean, he's been acting funnily, and he's been causing trouble a lot, and he did mess up Jigger a little bit a while ago, but then he's been making hassles with Huey, Louie, and Lucy. But they seem to be ganging up on him because I was with them yesterday and there was another little argument, but the three of them actually went for him.
Oh, sure, okay.
So they actually were putting him in his place, which he needs. And Gordy as well has also been, he's now, because you see, I think with those two, with Mrs. Spock and Halftail missing, there's a whole lot of dynamics that have changed, and I've missed a lot of it. So now but that's where I'm thinking that it might have something to do with it. And Tupac, because he's normally a pretty laid-back little guy. I mean, he really only messes around with Gordy, but it looks like Gordy's now a mediator between.
Okay.
He's kind of keeping the peace. He was even when Tankman attacked Jigger the one day, Gordy actually went to his defense, which was nice to see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because at one stage it was Tankman coming to the rescue of Jigger, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tankman always used to be the man, but I think, well, like Jigger's bodyguard, and I mean, I used to see him carrying him like he was like a female carries a kid.
Sure.
So, but I think now with him being fully in charge, I think the power's got to him a bit. So he's now head honcho. So he's just, I don't know, it's a different side to him, because if you'd asked me a year ago or 2 years ago if he would have turned into that kind of character, I would have put money that he wouldn't have.
Wow.
But yeah, so he's become a little bit of and he's lost a lot of trust with me. I mean, he always gives me these funny looks.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's all got to do with the power.
Okay, that's
But
quite
he's-
interesting.
yeah.
That's
He's just
very odd. And I did actually have a question about the mating. And I couldn't really remember who was with who. I remember you saying about Halftail with Tankman at one stage. But is Shirley Hurley, who was her preferred mate?
No, well, Shirley Hurley's now with Tankman. I mean, he's
Mm.
following her religiously. I don't, Mrs. Saka, I don't think she's coming in. She's in season at the moment. And Barry always used to be hanging around with her, and I think he probably still will be. But yeah, for the moment, because Shirley Hurley being high ranking, Tankman's
Possibly,
like got the rights basically.
yeah.
So, but I thought she had better taste than that.
Yeah, you did say same. But do you think? I mean, with is it LV?
LB.
LB,
Mm.
LB. Do you think she will sort of take Ginger on almost? If because I mean, she seems to be quite a
Yeah, the interesting
pushed
thing with
out.
her as well, there's the kids are pushing her around a lot, and yet
Mm.
whenever I'm with them, she's always away from the troop. She's never actually part of it.
Mm.
So there's like a lot of interesting stuff, and as I say, like so much has been going on when I haven't been with the time I haven't been with them. So it's hard to actually try and catch up now. But I've noticed that LB and the kids have always like messed her around, but in a fun kind of way. But I think the older the kids are getting, they're pushing for their status, and like they now the Chewy Lou and Lucy, they must be nearly approaching 2 years now.
Mm.
So they've got their own issues in life, and if they can dominate somebody, then they're going to do it. So, but I saw this morning they ganged up on her
Yeah.
before you guys met up with me, and they spent a lot of time chasing her.
Yeah.
But baboons are baboons.
Yeah.
But it's just the dynamic. There has been a big shift in dynamics.
No, it definitely
Definitely.
sounds like it. And where they're actually coming from was Inga's house, which is unfortunately the house that keeps getting raided at the moment. And
They know where to find the food.
they know where to find the food. And us humans are silly enough not to think these things through. So yeah, you would have thought, but they're now, I think, they're entering through the window.
No,
Apparently,
I
they
know.
found that's the weakness. And because we were like, how on earth are they getting in? We've put rope around the handles of the doors. We've put this around the doors, and they're still breaking in.
Very manipulative
So,
little thing. I've
so
just
what?
just got to teach them how to steal wallets now.
Yeah, exactly. But what are your suggestions to help us out? Because obviously there may be people watching that have the same sort of problem.
Well, you see, it's like if you go out on the town and you're going home and you're hungry and you come across two McDonald's. One charges a fortune, one's for free. Which one are you going to go to?
No, for sure, eh?
And
Well,
then
it's
that-
definitely our fault. We've done it. Obviously we've
Well,
left the door open once too many
Yeah,
times.
and that's all it takes. Because once they
Yeah.
know once,
That's
they
it.
don't forget. They'll keep checking it out because, I mean, 10 minutes in that house is worth probably half a day's foraging
Oh
out
yes,
there. So
for sure, for sure.
it's just, I don't know if I'd eat raw flour and whatever.
Yeah, yeah. They honestly they've eaten everything. Flour. They've eaten butternut. Everything. Onions, garlic.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, the spaghetti, dry spaghetti. At least they didn't get into the fridge. They didn't get to the leftovers. They haven't worked that one out yet.
No.
But I know baboons have. I've heard down in Cape
Yeah.
Town they do eventually do that. So,
No, yeah.
so what do you suggest? Like, sort of putting a stick in the window, or
I think with a door, if you can wedge a piece of wood so that you can't actually pull the doors
'cause
apart.
they actually sliding it. Like,
But they'll work something out as well where if they can work it out, and they might actually lift the door and pull
sure,
it,
yeah.
and that's another way. And then you're gonna have to change the door.
Yeah, I can just imagine the whole
Or-
glass, because it's actually a sliding door, so it's a whole glass door coming off.
Yeah.
My word, no, I don't want to. No, I can't think of that one. But you said something about a curtain.
Yeah, sometimes I've seen it before with where they did try and get into the one house, and the curtain wasn't closed. So I thought, okay, well, because I couldn't lock the door from inside and get out myself. So I went there and I closed the curtain because I thought, okay, the curtains, if they see the curtain, they see it as a solid object. They don't know that it's soft and movable. And it worked because then they would go up to the door, but then they would sit and they can't quite work out what's going on with that. So
That's quite an
curtain,
interesting one.
it'll
Yeah.
be a good, interesting one to try because
Yeah,
test
I
the
think we
motivation.
should. Yeah.
for free food.
Well, put it this way, there was a
You
lot
can
of
run
mini
through
paw prints
Yeah.
on the window, sort of doing the miming idea. But yeah, I mean, I must admit, I'd actually love to have seen their reaction when they got inside. I must admit. I mean, can you imagine sort of huge grins on their faces? We got him this time. It's
The funny part about it, I'm sure that they'll know exactly what foods are where to find it exactly. Because
I'm sure.
I mean, I have chased them out of that house myself before because I have watched them go in, and I thought, okay, no, you can't, because I know they do have fun.
Yeah, they do.
And I actually waited, and I just watched from the actual, there's that little window at the back of the kitchen, and I walked around there, and they didn't see me, and I was watching them through the window, and I saw them go in, and I watched them. They knew exactly which containers to go to, exactly what they wanted,
Yeah.
and then I ran a bit of a risk because then I had to get in, but I banged on the window first, and to let them know, because obviously you don't want to trap them in there, because then it's
That's it.
gonna be
Even
more
if they
fun.
know you, it's like I was saying with the snake. If you corner an animal, that's when you're going to have the problem because that animal is going to feel threatened. It's going to run through you. It will use whatever weapon it has to save its life. It's its own preservation at the end of the day. And obviously, even though they know you, I think you'd have the same problem, wouldn't you?
I think you'd have a hell of a dirty house as well.
Yeah, I think so. That too. I would like to see, or would like to be the one to clean it up afterwards. So shame, yes. But I think we definitely need to do something. Because we keep losing our food, and
Yeah.
every time we think we've won, the baboons find another
Well,
way.
I have the same thing with Tankman. He's now knows in my house where the bananas are. And if I don't close the back door when they're there, well, I have closed the back door, and then I'll watch him, and he walks away, and he goes and he sits on my car. And he kind of, you think, okay, great, he's forgotten about things. So you'll leave the door closed. I'll watch him through the window, and he's looking away. It looks like he's thinking of moving somewhere else, and then I'll leave the door open. I'll just take 3 steps into the house. I'll just sit down, and because they're incredibly silent as well. But he did it the other day where he knocked a little piece, just banged a piece of plastic, and I just heard that noise. And when I stood up, there go my bananas. But they are, yeah, sure. But he knows exactly where to get them.
Oh, for sure, hey. Well, thank you so much, Graham, for joining me and just
Pleasure.
filling us in on what was happening this morning.
No problem.
And as I say, hopefully we'll get to see you again sometime doing that, and even maybe a drive.
Absolutely. See me in my real form.
Yeah. But if you would like to catch up on the Gary Gang, then there's the Facebook page as well. Just type in Gary Gang and it should come up there. It's also on the Safari Channel page and my page as well. So if you want the link, that's where you can find it. But thanks for joining us on the Fireside Chat. Hopefully we've given you a bit of an insight of what happened this week. And do join us again tomorrow for our live safari at 5:30 Central Africa time with Patrick and Sebastian. So do join us then. But for myself, Graham, and the rest of the crew, goodbye for now.
Cheers.